Alrighty, welcome back fellas. We're just a few short days away from the part 2 banners officially dropping for the new LRs. So before that happens, I want to go ahead right now and figure out what we can look forward to seeing in the part 2 banners themselves. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the vid. Let's go ahead and get into this. So first thing is first, I have the part 1 banners pulled up here. Now, the reason why I have them pulled up is because I want to refer back to them for one thing, and also because more specifically, in case you guys do not know, Dokkan likes to do this thing with anniversaries where they will give you the part 1 banners and they will have a bunch of different SSRs and LRs and everything, but the part 2 banners will possess characters who are basically the counterparts of the part 1 units, right? So that's kind of why I want to kind of refer back to this. Of course, in case you guys were not familiar, we already got the official kind of confirmation of our part 2 headliners, so we are going to be getting a Dokkan Fest Gogeta, and we're going to be getting a Carnival LR Frieza plus Goku, and a Carnival LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So that's going to be our setup. Basically what that means is that Gohan and Frieza plus Goku are going to be on our Carnival banner together, and Gogeta is going to be by his lonesome on the Dokkan Fest banner. So we already know that stuff, of course. Let's go ahead now. We can focus more on the actual banner. So let's go ahead. We'll just start off with the Dokkan Fest banner, kind of talking about these characters. Let me go ahead and like pull up all the grouping tabs and everything here. But basically, you know, every one of these characters is going to have some sort of counterpart for the Part 2 Dokkan Fest banner. So, of course, the 10th anniversary Vegito, his counterpart is going to be the new 10th anniversary Gogeta. So, that one's kind of obvious right there. Hercule, I will say, Hercule is the one where we know he's the side banner unit for the new 10th anniversary LR. We have no official confirmation on who the side banner unit will be for the Part 2 banner. Now, what we do know, and I wish I had the roadmap pulled up here, but we know the only spots left for available kind of side banner units are Dragon Ball Super and the Cell Saga. Now, you know, we don't know exactly what that means, but, you know, for me, one expectation that I have, and a lot of people have this expectation, is we could see a side banner Veku. Now, of course, this Veku is from the Fusion Reborn movie, but I'm not talking about Fusion Reborn. I'm specifically talking about the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Maybe we'll get a fat Gotang, or not Gotenks, but fat Gogeta, maybe a skinny Gogeta. We don't know exactly what we can see, but my hope is we can see a Dragon Ball Super Veku, because that would be really cool. That would fit into the Dragon Ball Super kind of section for the roadmap, of course, and I think that would maybe work well with the new Gogeta and everything. So that's kind of like my hope and expectation, of course. Again, we don't have any official kind of clear-cut confirmation on who that side banner unit is going to be, but that's kind of my expectation for that. So that's kind of like the one major unknown, I would say, in this banner. Beyond that, a lot of this we can kind of pretty much figure out using logic and everything, right? So, of course, the Super Saiyan Trio, their opposite is going to be the Part 2 Worldwide Celebration Dokkan Fest Int Super Saiyan Broly, right? So, I'm showing you guys the SSR arts, by the way, just to kind of show you guys what to look forward to when you try to pull for these characters. That way you know what the silhouettes look like and everything, but basically, you know, he's going to be the opposite for the physical Super Saiyan Trio. We keep on going, of course, you know, we can kind of just like go through all of these characters, right? So, 9th anniversary Broly, so we keep going. That's going to give us the 9th anniversary Beast Gohan, the other Part 2 Dokkan Fest character. Keep on going. Fusion Zamasu, he is going to be the opposite of the We Saiyans Have No Limits Blue Duo. The 8th anniversary Z Duo, the Part 1 8th anniversary unit, right? Their opposite is going to be the other Part 1 8th anniversary LR with the GT Duo. We keep going right here, you know, the 7th anniversary Tech Gods. Of course, they're going to be getting their EZA soon, by the way. Their counterpart right now, at least with the Part 1 banner, is going to be the 7th year Super Saiyan 4. So right now, Super Saiyan 4s. Part 2 is going to have the Super Saiyan Gods. Within Namagoku, so in Namagoku we have his EZA out and everything. His opposite also has his EZA out right now, but his opposite is going to be the AGL Full Power Frieza. I think it's very safe to assume he will show up for the banner, so that's going to be exciting. Of course, gives people an opportunity to pull for him and get that EZA done as well, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Of course, MUI Goku right here, the 6th anniversary LR, he is going to be the opposite, right, the counterpart of the Int Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta, so look forward to seeing him. Of course, a fantastic character, by the way. And then STR Goku and Vegeta who fuse into Vegito. So let me say right now, this one is like the other kind of unknown when it comes to this banner. Now, I wouldn't say it's as unknown as the side banner unit because there are some ideas that we could expect for this position. But the thing is, there is no clear-cut answer in terms of how they could do it. There's kind of like two main ideas. So, one idea that I'm kind of leaning towards is that they will give us a Tech Goku and Vegeta. The other idea, though, and this one has a lot of merit as well, is that they could give us Bootanks. Now, Bootanks is the idea because he is the official kind of Worldwide Celebration counterpart of the STR Vegeta right here. However, for me, the reason why I kind of talk about Goku and Vegeta is because they are the tech fusion who go into Gogeta. They will link perfectly with the Part 2 headliner, so that's kind of like the same merits as what we have with the what we get with the STR Vegeta right here, who fuses into Vegito, has great linking with the tech Vegeta right here for the 10th anniversary. So that's kind of like my logic right there. Again, it's not guaranteed which of the two we'll see. We'll only get one of the two, but both have some merit. Now, to be fair, you know, Gogeta, he's been on a more recent banner, technically, with the Extreme Z Dokkan Fest banner, so he's been returning with that banner. Of course, beyond that, you know, we have the, like, Tanabata banner and everything, so that's the only other kind of thing right there. For Bootanks, though, Bootanks has not been back for a while. The last time he was back was on the Extreme Z Dokkan Fest banner back in the 9th anniversary, and of course, the Tanabata banner for, like, Tanabata's MUI Goku. So, you know, it's been a while since Bootanks has returned. If anything, based off of that, it probably is pretty much guaranteed that Bootanks should be the one to return above all else. But me personally, I would say that I would prefer if they give us maybe Tech Gogeta. Maybe I would probably prefer him because at least he can link well with the new Gogeta. That's like my kind of hope with that sort of design. But, you know, really, it's those two characters for that kind of final section for the Dokkan Fest position. Other than that, though, you know, most of the characters, we pretty much know who they're going to be, so it's pretty straightforward from there. Now, I will say, you know, talking about the SSRs, we don't know what Gogeta will be capable of, we don't know who the side banner is, and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, we can talk about all of the other characters because we have their kits in the game. So, in Dokkan Fest Broly, let me just say right now, this character is actually really good, especially because he leads some categories that maybe you don't have a good leader for, like Planetary Destruction, Revenge, and Uncontrollable Power. So that's really good. Broly, of course, as an LR, he does a lot of support, the revive and everything that he has in his kit, all some really good stuff. So I will say, even though the 10th anniversary hasn't directly been trying to buff him, he is still, you know, managing himself pretty good as a part of this whole kind of 10th anniversary meta shift as of this point. So, you know, he's a good character, of course, to look out for. Beast Gohan, I really don't have to say much. This guy is honestly so insane. He came out almost a year ago, and yet he is still aging so well with the 10th anniversary, with all the new characters, all the support and everything. He is still aging so well. Now, to be fair, you probably don't want to run his team as much anymore with superheroes and everything, but still, he fits onto a lot of other really powerful categories like Earth Protecting Heroes, Demonic Power, Battle of Fate. So, all of these things, movie heroes, you know, all those things are really good. So, Beast Gohan, if you pull this character, congratulations, because you have gotten yourself a actual beast, no pun intended. This guy is actually that insane. So, great character, of course. Keep going. Fusion Zamasu. So let me go ahead and talk about Fusion Zamasu and the 8th anniversary GT duo kind of like side by side here. Both of these characters are really old, right? You know, they're getting closer for like an EZA, right? You know, their EZAs need to come sooner rather than later. And when we talk about them, they are not necessarily that great to run nowadays. Now, to be fair, they both can be usable in certain situations with certain teams, of course. You know, if you need GT heroes, these characters are your guys right there for GT heroes and everything like that, right? But, you know, they have built-in damage reduction, but beyond that, their stats are not that good to kind of meet the new meta shifts. For Fusion Zamasu, though, I will say he is a bit better than the 8th anniversary LRs because at least he has a much better leader skill, because Realm of Gods is good, Worldwide Chaos is nice to have that fuse fighters, but also he is an extreme class type key leader, right? So, you know, that is something that is really good. And even though he himself is not that good as an individual unit anymore, his leader skill is honestly that awesome, and he fits onto some nice categories as well. So all of that is some nice stuff when it comes to Fusion Zamasu, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's one of the biggest characters to write home about. So that's kind of my feelings about him. The Tech Super Saiyan Gods, again, they're going to be getting their EZA very soon. Look forward to these guys being some of the best units in the game. Leading Power Beyond Super Saiyan movie heroes, both extremely powerful categories, especially together. This character is going to have a fun time. And also, this character is on a good number of categories, of course. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be awesome. Of course, there's actually more categories that this character is on once you get them into the LR. But until you get to that point, you know, this character is kind of just stuck in these few categories. But still, this character is going to be really great with EZA. So that's going to be fun, of course. Keep going. Full Power Frieza. Already with the EZA. His EZA has been really fun, I will say that. But obviously, I will understand if a lot of you guys are not necessarily as excited about him as a couple of the other characters, like the 7th anniversary LRs with their EZAs, like the new Gogeta and everything. But he is still a very powerful character, leading Sworn Enemies, leading Planet Dynamic Saga on a nice set of categories. Some that you maybe just don't have a lot of great characters for, like Wicked Bloodline and stuff. But you know, Frieza is going to be awesome, of course. Keep going, MUI with the EZA, a fantastic character, especially for very short fights. Turn 1, he is invincible, like pretty much invincible. So, I mean, yeah, this character is so insane. I think I said invincible right there, but yeah, whatever. So, you know, he's awesome. Tech Gogeta, I can't say enough about this character. On his own, this character is really awesome, and if he can, like, link up with the new Gogeta, that will be even better. But on his own, this character is really strong, stacking attack with the EZA and everything. This character has a lot of good things to offer, and also Bootanks. Now, Bootanks, I will say, I mean, if you only get one copy of this unit, and I'm speaking from experience here because I only have a 69% Bootanks right here, Bootanks will feel kinda disappointing when you don't have that many dupes in him, but if you have dupes with him with easy and everything, this character will feel really awesome. Now, at 55%, at like early, dupes and everything, this character will still have a lot of value, just not as much as you may want to see from him. So that's something right there, but still, he's got a great kit with the stacking and everything. Once he goes into Buhan, he's a fantastic character. So, I mean, all these characters are going to be really good. I can't say for sure which banner you probably should summon for. I'd probably say go for the Dokkan Fest banner, but, still, both banners are going to have a lot of powerful characters, so you can't go wrong necessarily going into either direction overall, especially if you're missing a lot of those characters. So that's what I'll say there. For the Part 2 Carnival banner, though, right? So we can kind of look at the counterparts here. Again, remember, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Frieza plus Goku, the new 10th anniversary Carnival LRs, they will take these two spots right here. We keep going, of course, the Worldwide Celebration Carnival LR Gohan. His opposite is going to be Tech Broly. We keep on going. Part 1 9th anniversary Carnival LR Super Saiyan Gogeta. That's the opposite for the Part 2 Gammas. Super Saiyan Future Gohan right here. So Future Gohan is the opposite for the Sword of Hope Trunks. The Part 2 8th Anniversary Carnival Kid Gohan from like Dragon Ball Z. His opposite is going to be his father, if you will, with the Dragon Ball Z Kai Goku right here. So Kai Goku is going to be the opposite there. Keep going. Super Saiyan Carnival LR Goku. I believe the first Carnival LR in the game's history, if I remember correctly. So he is, of course, the opposite for the Metal Cooler. And then now we get into some of the Yellow Coin LRs. Now, Saiyan Saga Vegeta, the expectation for a lot of people is that his opposite is, of course, going to be the Kaioken Goku. They were opposites in the 7th anniversary, but also because both of them, we expect they will get their easy A's. So, based off that reasoning as well, it does make sense that Kaioken Goku returns for the Part 2 Carnival banner. We don't have any official confirmation of that yet, but that's kind of like the expectation there. For, let me go ahead and skip Janemba, going to Krillin and Gohan. So, for Krillin and Gohan, the opposite kind of choice for, the obvious choice for them, I should say, is Vegeta. Vegeta slash Goku, right? This is the other kind of like Part 2 Worldwide Celebration LR, so it kind of makes sense that he will be the other kind of character we see in the Part 2 banner. And obviously, I think kind of works pretty well in terms of how he's kind of designed and everything, so I think we'll expect Vegeta and everything. The one character that's kind of interesting is the opposite for Janemba, because Janemba is not a Worldwide Celebration character, right? He's a Tanabata Yellow Coin LR, so there is no technical, like, opposite of him, like an opposite counterpart that he possesses, right? If you want to say there's a counterpart, his counterpart was the Tech Goku and Vegeta. But, obviously, you're not going to see a Dokkan Fest LR on this banner, so we have to think of some other options. That kind of leads me to two ideas. One is probably a bit unliked, and that's going to be Super Buu. Super Buu is he's just bad. But Super Buu could be a potential idea, because, he fits into some of the different kind of ideas and everything, but, it's not really clear in terms of whether or not he'll return. Of course, he was on the whole New Year's banner and everything, but the last time he returned was on the whole Golden Week celebration banner for AGL Gohan. So it's been a while since he's been back. Not that anyone wants him to be back, because this character is not that good quite yet, but I think he is kind of set for a return sometime soon. So we may have to look forward to seeing him. The other option, though, could be Fusion Zamasu, the Infusion Zamasu, and that would be interesting because, he doesn't really have a setup to kind of return in that sort of regard as well. But, when we look at him, he's also been gone for a while, right? The New Year's banner is one thing, but also he hasn't returned since the 9th anniversary. So, because of that, he is kind of, based off this, we can tell he's worthy of being on an anniversary banner. But also, it's been a while, maybe he'll return for this banner as well. It'd be kind of funny if he's Part 2 last year, Part 2 this year. But yeah, I think they like to keep with this kind of general trend. So, we'll have to see how things go, of course. There's no clear-cut kind of like answer in terms of what we can see for that final spot. But if you ask me, I think Zamasu may be the better choice. I think a lot of people are going to be more hopeful that Zamasu will return because he is much closer to getting his Easy A compared to Super Buu. So that's something else to consider as well. But that's kind of my expectations for what we can see for the Part 2 banner. If we talk about these characters though, in terms of who's the good characters, right? Carnival Broly is fan-freaking-tastic. 200% leader for movie bosses as a Carnival LR. Fantastic slot 1, being able to do AoEs with his supers. This guy does a lot of work, so honestly, I can't sing too much about his praises. This guy is really awesome. Keep going, of course, Gogeta. I will say, Gogeta, I think, has been one of the best characters when it comes to aging throughout the entirety of 2024. At first, he was kind of okay, but there were flaws. But as time has progressed, as new characters have come out, like the Physical Super Saiyan Trio and others, Gogeta has gotten better. He's actually aged better because he can work into some of these other teams, and basically you can just put him in slot 3 now. You can put him in slot 3, he still has the taunt, he still has a really nice set with Gogeta Blue and that fusion and what he has to offer there, so honestly, he's still a really great character. Keep going, Future Gohan. he's okay. You really need the Super Saiyan Trio double support to make him good, or maybe, like the double Glorio support with demonic power to make him good. But other than that, Future Gohan is kind of okay. At best, he's okay, because he has some options, but he's not that crazy good anymore. So you need the support to make him feel good, and otherwise, he's just not going to be great for you. So I'm sorry to say that, Future Gohan fans. I love Future Gohan, but he needs some help. So that's what we're going to say there. Of course, Dragon Ball Z Kai Goku, Kai Goku is going to be in a similar boat, where I think he has a lot of potential, especially with, the physical Super Saiyan Trio double support and everything, but this is a character who is very reliant on stats, and nowadays, stats alone don't necessarily cut it. You need damage reduction, you need guard, you need dodge, you need other things, and Kai Goku wasn't built for that type of meta, so for the time being, I don't think Kai Goku is going to be that great either, even though it would be nice to have him, of course, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be that great. Super Saiyan Goku, right now, terrible character, but he is set for an Easy A sometime this year, so that's going to be something to look forward to, of course. Keep going. Kaioken Goku, we expect his Easy A will come during the 10th anniversary, so hopefully that will happen. Vegeta just got his Easy A. Pretty solid character, especially for a category which I use him often on, which is Dragon Ball Seekers. However, he's still not that crazy good, and being a Planetary Saga leader and everything, he's not exactly that great for the category either. He's like an okay kind of unit for the category, but still, he's at least usable nowadays, so that's at least something to kind of write home about, like glass half full kind of approach, but still, he's got some issues as well, so kind of like a 50-50 thing. Super Boo, if you pull him, I am so sorry, because he is not usable for a long time. Fusion Zamasu, if you pull him, I feel bad, but at the same time, at least he's going to be set to get his Easy A soon, so that's kind of like, again, a glass half full kind of look, so that's kind of my thoughts on all the banners, of course. This is probably as good of like a extrapolation that we can get for the banners without seeing the banners themselves, because again, we were able to use the part 1 banners to kind of guess and figure out and kind of think and logic through how we're going to see the part 2 banners design. Now, again, some things are not entirely certain. So we don't know what the side banner character is going to be for the Part 2 Dokkan Fest banner. We don't know exactly for sure who they could choose for this kind of like opposite position for Vegito. They could be giving us Tech Gogeta, or they could give us Bootanks. But beyond that, most of this is pretty clear. For the Carnival banner, almost all of this is pretty clear. The only thing that's not entirely clear is who's going to be the opposite for Janemba. But other than that, this is pretty straightforward. So honestly, I think you can expect the banners to look as we just kind of described them. Hopefully, they will be good banners for you guys as well. Hopefully, we'll see some other things like step up summon formats and everything, because the Part 2 banners, they need to be pretty crazy. So we'll have to see, of course, what the new characters can do, how the kits are designed, what's going to be offered in the banners, all that sort of stuff. But it's going to be a very exciting time for sure. And of course, that's going to be where we have to end this vid. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.